Hey, what's up? What's going here to do another general video and one of my favorite Bible verses actually. And what I really want to do is start a series of making videos, with this video being the first one, that has to do with this series. And what had happened was I just have, favorite Bible verses in general, and I just want to talk about and elaborate on, what they mean to me, or, how I can relate to them personally and things of that nature. And then also I came across a Facebook memory the other day, so that is another reason why I want to do videos about my favorite Bible verses. And for this Bible verse in particular, as I was saying, I came across a Facebook memory and I came across it this past Friday. And the Bible verse that I'm talking about is actually James 1:2. And so what I'm going to do is, read my King James Version from the Bible. And then I'm going to tell you guys what the NIV version is and, just elaborate and just go from there. So, yeah. So once again, this is the King James Version, and this is James chapter 1, verse 2, and it says, "My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations." Okay, and now, like the NOV, I'm sorry, not the NOV, but the NIV version of that same Bible verse is, "Consider it pure joy whenever you face trials of many kinds." So yeah, there's that. And I just want to talk about a specific trial that I have been going through lately. And actually, I've been going through it for some years and years and years now. And of course, there's some other things, but I want to focus on, this in particular. And for me personally, I am talking about, the trial of anxiety, but I mean having like intense, severe anxiety. Well, at times, like right now, I'm perfectly fine. I'm, at my house, and, I don't have to, be, in the outside world anymore today, because I'm making this video after getting home from work. But yeah, anxiety is something that I deal with, and for me, it all really started back in the 8th grade, and I was only about like 14 or 15 years old, so I was only a teenager. I was young, like really super young, and honestly, unfortunately, I think I have to put the blame on myself. So I think it's my fault. I think it's my own doing as to why I, have had anxiety, have had to deal with having anxiety, in the first place. I think I caused my own anxiety, basically is what I'm trying to say. And the reason why I say that is because I just one day out of nowhere years ago, I was just like a brat, like literally. I mean, there's no way to like, sugarcoat it or anything. And then like once I, started being a brat, like out of nowhere for no reason, and then when people like catched on to that and they started noticing that, and then when people started treating me different as a result of that, and then, because of that came the bullying, and I think all the bullying in general is what really gave me the anxiety. But I was a brat at first, and like maybe if I wasn't a brat, maybe I wouldn't have all the bullying, or at least not as much, and maybe I wouldn't have anxiety at all, or at least not as much. So I think that's where it stems from. I can't really think of, anywhere else that, it could stem from, to be honest. So I think that's basically how it all started. And then one day, like I really noticed it and realized it when, like I was sitting in class. I still believe I was in the 8th grade, maybe the 9th grade, but I think it was the 8th grade. And there were 2 times, the same week, so 2 different days for the same week, where I actually had like some mini panic attacks. And it was to the point where I like had to like leave the classroom and go to the girls' restroom to just like take a breather and, just breathe, relax, and, make sure that I had calmed, all the way down before I could go back and walk, in class. Those 2 days and those 2 times that same week, once again, years ago. And I didn't really like tell anybody about that, that day or anything. And nobody asked me if I was okay or anything. So I thought it was weird, but I didn't think that much of it afterwards. And, I just like let it go. It moved on. And, but I just want to fast forward to now, and like where I'm at with it now. So, about 2 months ago, I started a brand new job and actually like really like this job. Um, and it's so much better. It's like at least 20 times better than, my previous job. And I earn a little bit more money and, I get benefits and insurance and things of that nature. And so it's good. So, and I'm very grateful and thankful and appreciative to God for this job because without Him, I wouldn't have this job, and He blessed me with it. And He didn't have to, but fortunately He did because I really needed it and wanted it. And so I'm very thankful for the job. But I have been noticing that ever since I got this job, my anxiety has been like a bit more like intense or dramatic, so to speak, if you will. And but that's another thing. I just have noticed, like just in general, that there are certain like periods and moments and times in my life where my anxiety is more, intense or dramatic than, other times. And also, I've noticed on like a general level that it seems like every time I start a new job, my anxiety just for a while, it just seems to be like really intense for some reason. I guess because, a new environment, new people, new faces, and me just having to adjust and adapt. So I guess that's why. But so I understand, like having anxiousness in general, but like to the degree that it is for me and how severe it can get for me, I just really don't know. For the past 2 weeks, though, so last week and the week before, and even today, like my anxiety has been like way more chill. But there was a particular day earlier this month, and then, kind of, the last 2 months too, like November and December. It's at times been, more intense. So the last 2 weeks and today, well, also besides, my very first day of the new job are probably the most calm days I've had so far, since, being at this job and working this job for about 2 months. And so, yeah, but, and just like in a general sense, I want to talk about like some of my symptoms as well when it comes to like my anxiety. Um, so some of my symptoms include like I just can't stop moving. Like I have to move, I have to fidget, I have to do something. I can't just be still. I have to be occupied with my hands, and or my mind or whatever. And sometimes it's to the point where I have to like keep constantly using the bathroom, and sometimes I get like sweaty and shaky, and just things like that. And I mean, there's some other symptoms, but I can't think of any more right now at the top of my head. And I'm going to make another video to go more in depth about, my anxiety and symptoms and all that anyway. And, but yeah, those are some of my symptoms, of anxiety. And also it's to the point, sometimes it can get so bad to the point where people think that I'm actually like on drugs, and or, drinking and, getting wasted and stuff like that, even though that is not the case for me personally. It's really not. I have never done drugs in my life, and I'm not interested, not in the slightest, and just no. And then as far as alcohol, I have consumed alcohol a few times in my life, voluntarily on my own. And fortunately, I've always been able to, keep it under control. I've never been tipsy. I've never been drunk. I've never had a hangover, and then once again, I've never been high either. But it's really weird because sometimes I feel like I actually am like drunk and or high sometimes. Like I don't know, sometimes I feel like I'm in another like zone or space or something. Like I really don't know how to like explain it, but seriously, that is how I feel sometimes. Um, Even though I promise to God, I promise on the Bible that like I'm really not though. Like I'm not. That's the thing. I feel like it sometimes, but I'm not, and I never have been. So it's really weird, and I really don't know what that's about. But I don't know. But yeah, and people treat me different, and people look at me different, and people, judge me and make fun of me and stuff like that. And I am not the type of person who really cares what other people think of me, but at the same time, I wish people knew the truth. And it's just very frustrating when people believe things that are like lies or rumors or, exaggerations, at least even. Like I just hate it, and I just hate having anxiety. It's a pain in my side. And I just hope and pray that, one day God will like completely take it away from me. But even if he doesn't, I pray that he'll just continue to always give me the strength to deal and cope with it. And then speaking of dealing and coping with anxiety, some of the, few ways that I am able to deal with it that are, healthy for me personally is, praying, fasting, sitting in stillness, and, just getting into the word and studying and meditating the word. And when it comes to anxiety in particular, it's best for me to just in general is good, but it's best for me to sometimes like focus on a particular passage or particular verses and things like that. And then also I have to chew gum. So I like literally have to like chew and have gum like everywhere I go. Even if I'm, only at a place for like 5 minutes, at least most of the time, at least like 98% of the time, I have to have gum. And I just randomly discovered that one day years ago. One day I was just at like some convenience store or gas station and just decided to buy gum. And then that day I just ended up discovering that gum helps me cope with my anxiety to a degree. So I have to have gum, and I really kind of am dependent on it. Like, not like in not to like an obsessive compulsive degree, but like I have to have it or I would probably like go insane. And then besides that, another way that I deal with it is, writing and journaling. And then also I have this little stress ball that I got from Dollar Tree that I squeeze sometimes. But actually, I have anxiety in general, basically, every day, basically, no matter where I go. The only way I really don't have anxiety is if I just don't go out or if I'm around people that I strictly like know and like love and people that I know for sure like me and I like them back. Other than that, yeah, I have anxiety just about always. Um, and Speaking of the stress ball, I actually have two stress balls. I have a different one at work that was given to me actually, and I've have had to use it in the past, but like I said, for the past couple of weeks and today, fortunately, I haven't had to use it at all. So I feel like my anxiety is kind of winding down some a little bit, but I still have it, and I still think it's to the point because, like I said, I just have these periods in my life where it's more intense than others, and I guess with the exception of me starting new jobs, I don't. Other than that, I don't know like when the intensity is gonna increase. Like I just don't know always. Um, And so I feel like it's still to the point where I'm gonna have to like get, some type of therapy. And I've been talking to people close to me and, friends and family and stuff like that. And they have been telling me, according to what I've been telling them, that I need to get therapy. And not that I didn't think they were like right in the first place, but I'm like really starting to believe that they're right more than ever now. Just because, I mean, like I said, it can get so bad, and I'm trying to like control it, but it seems like sometimes it is controlling me, and I just don't like that feeling. I just hate like not being in control. But anyway, but people are telling me that I need to get help, and I agree, I do need help, but also it's kind of weird because I feel like people are telling me I need to get help as if I am on drugs and alcohol, even though I'm not. And once again, I'm not trying to like belittle anybody who is going through, that type of thing or has been through that type of thing. And, I'm not trying to, belittle anyone. I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm cocky or make it seem like I'm better than anybody, because I'm not. But I don't struggle with drugs. I don't struggle with alcohol. I mean, so it's just weird to me. I mean, I understand where people are coming from, and, it's no hard feelings, and I don't think anyone has any bad intentions or anything, but it's just kind of weird to me, still. But yeah, I'm going to be getting therapy very, very soon. And, I'm going to make another video and, provide you guys with an update about that and how that goes. But the reason, because, like, aside from last year, this is not my first time that people close to me have told me that they think I need therapy. But the reason why I've been avoiding it all this time is because, I've had a lot of counseling, like probably more than I needed to be honest. I don't really know though. In middle school, high school, and even in college. And I just had a lot of counseling, and I mean, I'm not saying that it hasn't helped at all, because it has, but I don't know, just I think people, no matter what profession, can only help you so much. And just at that time, I just wasn't as strong in my faith, and as far as my faith, I was just, going through the motions and, things like that. And but now my faith is stronger, and I understand just because someone gets counseling or therapy or whatever doesn't always mean that their faith isn't strong enough, or that they don't believe in God, hard enough or whatever. That's not always the case, because God, sometimes uses people to help you. So I know that to be true. I get that. I understand that. But I feel like I've been putting my trust too much in people over the years and through the years, and not in God. So honestly, that is the honest to God reason why I have been avoiding it all this time. But I think maybe God is trying to tell me something, just like, everybody else is. So I'm gonna, like I said, I really will, look into getting therapy very soon, sooner rather than later. And then I'll have to see about getting medication. And I hope not, but if I absolutely have to, I will, but I will do that only as a last resort. I'm going to see if there's any other things that are healthy, that are better than pills, that I could try. And the reason why I've been also avoiding taking pills, because I've never took pills for anxiety a day in my life so far. And like I said, I've been dealing with this since like 14, 15 years old, and I'm almost 30 now. I've never taken pills for anxiety before, and the reason why is because actually alcoholism runs on a certain side of my family, and I just am trying to be the person to break that generational curse. Like, I want to be the person in my generation and, to just break that curse. And even though if I were to take pills, I mean, yeah, it's pills, but I feel like it's kind of similar. I just don't want to like become like super codependent on pills. Is my thing, and I'm not saying that would happen, but I just rather not take the chance in the first place to find out is where I'm at. But anyway, like I said, it's just the point. It's just getting so bad that I mean, maybe I do need it. Maybe there's some type of like chemical imbalance in my brain or something that I don't know about, which I'm kind of starting to feel that way too. So I don't really know. But all I know is that, my mental health is important and it's worth it. And I'm just gonna, look into some options. And even if I do take pills, I will definitely make sure that it is like super temporary. Like, I won't be on them forever. Like, I can't, I don't want to. It's not my favorite to take pills in general anyway. Let alone like for anxiety, like, just no. But yeah, but I say all that to, say this, going back to the Bible verse, James chapter 1, verse 2, consider it pure joy whenever you face trials of many kinds. So my thing is, even though I've been, struggling and dealing with anxiety all these years and all this time, and then lately, with the exception of the last 2 weeks, you know, just more intense, more dramatic anxiety. Like I still, and I do have joy, and I am happy, and I do rejoice, and I praise and worship, God, and rightfully so, because He deserves always, no matter what, all the honor and all the praise and all the glory. And that's what I'm gonna do, because that's what I'm commanded to do as a Christian. And to be honest, when I do it, I don't really know how to explain it, but I really do feel like so much better. Like, I mean, yes, I mean, life just in general and me dealing with this, it is hard, it is tough. I get tired, sometimes I get discouraged. I'm still human. Like, yes, but I mean, God gives me the strength and the endurance just always miraculously to just push through. And that's why, I'm still here now. I mean, I'm a warrior, I'm a fighter, I'm a, winner, I'm a survivor. And like I said, I made it this far without any pills by the grace and mercy of God. But like I said, maybe God is trying to tell me something, and maybe I need some type of medication just temporarily to fix some chemical imbalance in my brain or just whatever it is. Um, I mean, but yeah, and I'm gonna keep praying, and I'm gonna keep fasting and sitting in stillness and reading and meditating on the word, and still have my gum, still have my stress ball, still in the future seek out therapy and, any other options that I can. And also other things that help me, like I mentioned earlier, is, writing and journaling, listening to music, even dancing, even. And I'd like to do all that stuff, those last three things that I just mentioned in general, but, and just because, but even more, especially dancing, if I have like a rough day or not the best day. Um, and then, I mean, yeah, sometimes I'll do that, and that really helps as well. But so yeah, I am very joyful, even when I go through hard times, and I thank God for the good times and the bad times and the ugly times, because I wouldn't be the person that I am, you know, if I didn't have those hard and ugly times sometimes. And I mean, that's basically it. And I'm hoping that, my story is like it's just gonna like touch and positively influence, multiple people, and I'm pretty sure it will. But even, and this video is for, myself, because I'm talking to myself still, and for believers and even people who are, non-believers. I mean, this video is, for you guys and for me to just share my story and testimony and faith, in a way. And also kind of sort of to just like spread awareness, because I think sometimes there's like a stigma around mental health, but having a mental illness, which I guess is something I do have, since I do have anxiety so bad, it's like a real thing, and you need to take care of yourself, and just like I need to take care of myself. And yeah, so wow, it really feels good to get that off my chest. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with the world, basically, and once again be an encouragement to somebody else, to someone who is going through anxiety as well, or something similar, or maybe if there's something even worse, I guess, than anxiety, which I'm pretty sure there is something out there like depression, for example. Um, but anyway, I just gonna keep it positive and but yeah, that's basically it. And this is, like I said, my first video of talking about my favorite Bible verses. So stay tuned for more in the future. And before I jump off, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And you'll catch me in the next one. And peace out.